to be on here and happy to do it. And I might have said everything good I had to say a couple weeks ago, so we'll see how it goes today. But for those of us that we haven't had the chance to meet yet, my name is Nick Greco. I live in Denver, Colorado. I got introduced to this to the insurance business 5.5 years ago or so, and I really got started in 2021. Got my license at the end of 2020, and at that time, really what we were doing was just selling in person. We were doing in person, we're doing direct mail, and that's what I learned. And I'm really grateful that I learned the business that way, because I got to learn from one of the best, in my opinion, the best in the business, Mark Hutchison. You guys saw him on a lot of those leaderboards. Mark is incredible at selling in person, final expense, direct mail. So that's where we started. That's where I started. That's where, we started with our team, with our group, with Legacy Life. And what ended up happening, and just to kind of share my story a little bit of how I transitioned over to virtual, what ended up happening for me was I found myself in a position where I was in people's homes, okay, out there trying to sell myself, but I also had what felt like, I could go back and look at the numbers and see how many agents it actually was, but it felt like I had like 50 agents, okay, calling me, texting me, asking questions, what policy do I write, like all of that kind of stuff, while I was sitting in, Dolores's house, okay, trying to help her with an application and get her set up for her coverage. So, for me, what ended up happening is I ended up meeting someone at an Alliance event. So, again, here's another kind of plug of why you need to go to the events. Like we have NBC coming up here shortly, is I was at an Alliance event. I was upstairs. I was talking with Chris Hill. So a lot of you guys remember Chris. And he walks in with this guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, hey, this guy does leads, and he does, teaching people to sell virtually, and they're virtual leads or whatever." So I got this dude's number, and I tried some of that guy's leads, and I really did it out of necessity, or at least at the time, what felt like necessity, as far as selling virtually versus selling in home. Of just like, I had so many agents calling me while I was in people's homes that I felt like I kind of had to. And when it comes to selling virtually, I'm going to talk about a bunch of stuff on here today. And Chandler, let me know if I am missing anything. But when it comes to selling virtually, there's some really, really big differences between being virtual and being in person. Okay, and the reality of working remotely. It's great. You get to work from home. You may or may not be wearing pants every day. Like it is great. I'm a big fan of, selling virtually and work from home, but those are the upsides. Everybody just wants to focus on the upsides of it. As far as the downsides of it, okay. Well, you need to buy more leads. Like, you need to have more leads. Okay. You are spending your workday completely on the phone, and, you are dialing. You have to dial like a dang crazy person. Okay, you are always on the phones. You have to hit the phones hard, and you got to have enough leads to call. And the thing is when it comes to virtual, in my opinion, I think that you need to be better than you do. I don't know if I said that right, but you need to be better selling virtually than necessarily you need to be selling in person. Okay, so you have to grow your skill set. You have to grow your mindset, and you have to be willing to sit there and dial over and over and over and over and over again. Now, the payoff can be worth it, all right, because you can make a bunch of money. You can make, whatever, 5-10 grand a week from home. You can make more, and you don't ever have to leave your office. Now, the biggest issue that I see with new agents that are selling virtually, and quite frankly, this is true for new agents or agents that have been around for a while. The biggest issue that I see is people do not know how to be their own boss. Okay, people don't know how to be their own boss. Now, if you're showing up to an office somewhere, okay, you're going to the office there in Nashville, like, hey, that's kind of one thing. Like, you're showing up to go to work, all right? But one of the biggest things that I see happen to new agents is they show up to work. Their work is maybe, hey, they're new, it's their bedroom. When I first got started, my office was my childhood bedroom at my dad's house. Okay. And it was painted Ninja Turtle green from when I was like 7 years old. Okay. Like, it was not a fancy office, but that was my office. And a lot of people have the biggest issue that they have is being their own boss. They're the nicest boss that they've ever had, and they never work. Okay. Or they start making dials. They get a little bit discouraged because nobody's answering. And then they go work on the laundry. They go do the dishes. They go take the dog on a walk. And before you know it, it's 3 o'clock. Before you know it, it's 4 o'clock. So if you're going to be virtual, you even more need to be, you got to stick to a schedule. Okay. You got to stick to a schedule. And if I've learned anything, in the however long it's been, I guess maybe 4 or at least 4 years of selling virtually, is that isolation will kill agents. Okay, if you are dialing and you are in isolation, and if you are completely by yourself, and hey, you're not going to an office, most likely, like, hey, you're probably working from home, or maybe you're working from your childhood bedroom that's painted Ninja Turtle green, whatever. Okay, if you are completely you are completely by yourself. Okay, and that is one of the biggest negatives that there is you are by yourself, you're in isolation. And let's tell the truth here. Like, this business is not always easy. Okay, you see these numbers, you see, oh, Mark Hutchison made 15 grand last week. You're like, holy smokes, like, this is an easy business, or I could do it, or what, yes, you can do it, but it takes hard work in order to get the results that you're ultimately after. Okay. And so if you're by yourself, if you're in isolation, I'm just telling you, the alarm bells need to be going off. Okay. If you're completely by yourself, because this business is already hard enough to make the type of money that like the big money, like you got to work your butt off. Okay. And if you're working your butt off and discouraged and you're alone, I'm just telling you guys, that is a recipe to kill your business. Okay. To kill your morale, to kill your new agents' morale. All right. So as we're bringing on new people, and as us ourselves, like as we're out there selling remotely, a couple of things that you just you get that in your head, that isolation is going to, isolation kills. All right. So how do we go about building culture? How do we go about building, a group or a team environment where we are not isolated? Even though, like, hey, maybe we're scattered. Like our group, we are scattered all over the country. We got people East Coast, West Coast, all over the place. And there's maybe a couple little pockets where, like, hey, these people are meeting up and dialing together, that kind of thing. So here's some of what we do. We will do dial sessions. Okay, we will have someone that we know is consistent, that is always dialing, that is getting after it. We will have them jump on Zoom, jump on Discord, whatever it is, and just say, like, hey, I'm working, watch me work. Okay, and not only watch me work, but like, hey, you work too. So what does this mean? This means if you're a brand new person, if you're an agent and you bring on a brand new person, I would dial with that person. Okay, like I've got a new group growing right now, and every single week I am dialing with this new group. And I promise you guys, like, I think I've done 22 applications this year. Let me just go look. I could tell you. This year I've done 23 applications. Okay, I'm focused on a lot more bigger sales, annuities, bigger cash value policies, that kind of thing. And I am dialing brand new leads with my new people for a couple of reasons. Number one, I want them to see me work. Okay, I want them to see, like, hey, Nick is working this business, and I am setting the example for them. Number two, I want them to see that this business works. Okay, because when you're brand new, especially if you've never been licensed before, this is your first time in the insurance business, you really don't know what you don't know. Okay, you don't know how many dials is a lot of dials. You don't know how many dials is a little bit of dials. You don't know how much money there is to be made, and there is lots of money to be made in this business, but you just don't know what you don't know. So I'm trying to show these new agents, number one, I'm setting the example. Number two, this business works. And also number three, that I'm there for them. Okay, so I will dial with my new agents. Okay, if you're not dialing with your new agents, you're making in my opinion, a really, really big mistake. Or you got to be plugging them into some sort of a dial jam or dial system or something where they can dial together. They can see other people, stacking up wins, other people getting people on the phone, other people getting hung up on. Okay, other people getting cussed out. Because if they think it's only them, they think, oh, I suck at this business, and then they're going to quit. Okay, so isolation kills new agents. All right, we need to build a culture, especially because everybody's scattered, people are working from home. We need to build a culture where, hey, we might be working ourselves, like, hey, we're working for ourselves, but we're not working by ourselves. Okay, we're working for ourselves, but we are not working by ourselves. And so what does that mean? That just means, hey, we need to plug in to the systems, the culture, the dial jams, the things that are available to us, because isolation kills. And if you're getting new people started and you're just throwing them to the wolves by themselves at their home, in their bedroom, making dials by themselves, and they're getting cussed out by Meredith and Myrtle and Dolores, I'm just telling you, it is like the clock is ticking. It is just a matter of time before that agent calls you and says, hey, I just don't think this is for me. Hey, I went and put in a job application. Hey, you know, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go do whatever. Isolation kills. So not only do we need to have the culture and the systems available where people can work, you know, for themselves, but not by themselves, you have to actively participate in those things. Okay. And you need to be involved. Like you as the upline, and you, if you're new on here, you need to get involved. Like there is a community. There's an amazing community of people at TDG Financial that are crushing it. Okay. Like you saw the numbers. There's a bunch of people making a lot of money, and those people will help you. Okay. But if they don't know who you are, and if you're not asking for help, no one's going to reach out. Okay. Nobody's psychic. And they just know, like, oh, I think this agent needs some help today. Let me call them and ask for help. So, like, you know, ask and you shall receive. Like, you need to ask for help if you need help. Okay. If you're feeling like you're in isolation, you need to get plugged in. Okay. Find the person who got you started, or find the upline agency manager and get plugged in, you know, to what is going on. There's an amazing community of people that will help you win at this business. Okay. Here's one of the things that I love about, you know, the Alliance, TDG Financial, and it's you know, kind of passed its way down to our group, is nobody is gatekeeping information. Okay, there's nobody that you're going to meet that, you know, within TDG, within the Alliance, within Legacy Life, that if you ask them what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, and you actually reach out for help from somebody who's winning, okay, there is nobody that is going to gatekeep information. There's nobody that's going to say, oh, I can't tell you what I'm doing because it's a secret. Okay. Like that is just not going to happen. All right. I think an issue for a lot of newer people, and again, this ties into building that culture around, you know, selling virtually, is people just aren't willing to ask for help. Okay. Or they're not trying to, they're not asking for help. And I get it. Like, hey, you might be a grown adult. Okay, I'm a 36-year-old man. Like, it's not always the easiest thing, you know, for me to ask for help. But when I joined this business, I was 31 years old, completely broke, didn't have money, and I had to ask for help. I promise you guys, next time you see Mark Hutchison, ask him in that first 3 months or 6 months, ask him how many times I called him. Okay, I was talking to Mark more than I was talking to my wife. Okay, because I was dialed in, and I'm like, I gotta make this business work. This guy's making this business work. I'm gonna get like, bro, you make money when I make money. I am going to light you up. Okay, tell me what to do, and I will go do it. All right, and and I'm just telling you guys, nobody's ever going to be upset in your upline if you reach out to them for help. Okay, now, quick little caveat, little asterisk on the asking for help part. I would only ask for help from someone who has proven results. Okay, if somebody is struggling just as bad as you're struggling, that is the wrong person, okay, to ask for help. In fact, the way that I would gauge who I asked for help from is, would you accept that person's results? Okay, would you trade places as far as results go with that person? Okay, well, when I was brand new, Mark was making 20, 30,000. I don't know what it, $40,000 a month. He made 15 grand last week. Okay, here I am brand new, and I'm like, I will trade results with this guy, so that's who I'm going to ask for help. Okay, I would trade results with Stephen Davies, so that's who I'm going to ask for help. Okay, I'm not going to ask the person, you know, sideline, or the person, you know, in my group that isn't getting results, what to do. Okay, hey, what should I change? Well, if I take their advice, I'm going to have to accept their results. Okay, so only take advice from the people that you want to also accept their results. And, you know, don't be afraid to ask. Okay, I was a 31-year-old getting started in this business, and it was like every single day. He probably was sick. He probably saw my phone calling and probably saw me on the phone and probably just like shook his head like, it's gonna be like a 20-minute call, you know, and he has stuff to do too, but he took my calls. Okay. And that kind of brings me to the next point. All right. So agents in isolation, they die. Okay. So we got to get around community. We got to get around people, and us as uplines, as you're bringing in new people, I would not outsource the training of your new people. I would not outsource the care of your new people. Plug into systems, plug into whatever you need to plug into. There's fantastic systems already set up that you can go plug people into. Okay. But here's the fact of it is, when you bring somebody on board, all right, when they make money, you make money. And I just want you to think back, especially those of us that have been around for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. Go back and think to your first year. Okay. Go back and think to your first year and think about how much, there's not that many people that just go figure this thing out on their own. That's the point that I'm getting at. There's not that many people that just, you know, completely in isolation, go figure this thing out by themselves. Okay. And as an upline, as a group leader, as an agency manager, as a new agent who's bringing on friends, which you should do. Okay. Maybe you don't have everything figured out. That's, you know, hey, you reach out to Steven, you reach out to, you know, Jeremico, or whoever it is. You reach out to the agency managers and above, they will help you. But my point is that just like in real life, okay, bringing about new life, like a brand new baby, it is labor. That is not easy. Those of us, you know, those of you guys that are parents, you know, moms out there, shout out to all the moms. Like it is work to bring about new life. Okay. The same thing is true for your business. It is work to bring in new agents. It is work to bring in new life in the business, in this business as well. Okay. So don't just get somebody in and just throw spaghetti against the wall and see if it sticks. Okay. It is like in a lot of ways, the way that I see this business, especially getting new agents started, is I'm getting somebody new started. And granted, I'm not going to do the work for them. I can't make their dials for them. Right. You can't pay someone to do your push-ups in this business. You can't pay someone, you know, your upline's not going to make your dials. Okay. But I see it as, if somebody is willing to work, okay, if they're coachable and teachable, number one, if they're willing to work, number two, and if they're tough, number three. Okay, meaning they can go get punched in the face by Dolores, you know, 10 times a week, and they're still coming back for more. I see it as I'm willing to make major sacrifices in my own life to help somebody new get up off the ground. Okay, and new life is labor in this business. All right, and the way that I see it is for somebody who shows me that they're willing, I will take time out of my life, my schedule, my business, I will take time out of those things to help pull that person up. Now, it has to be the right person. Okay. And that's why I said, like, hey, they got to be coachable. They got to be teachable. They have to be doing enough to win. Like, they got to go do the work, and they got to be tough. Okay. And you will sign up a lot of people that just aren't tough, or they're just not coachable, or they're just not willing to do the work. Okay. That will happen. And don't waste tons of valuable time trying to pull those people up. But the ones that are putting in the work, they're coachable and they're tough. I'm telling you guys, like, get in there with them, dial with them. All right. Get them, like, teach them what you know, especially if you're in a position in this business where you're making the money that you want to be making, or that, you know, you're making great money. Teach the people. Okay. You can pull those people up, and it doesn't take, like, you know, when it comes to, like, you know, labor and delivery, okay, for bringing a human life, like, hey, it could take 24 hours. It could take 8 hours. It could take, you know, it takes whatever it takes. Okay. In this business, we're not going to measure it. It's not 8 hours or 12 hours. It's more like the person's infancy in the business is really like maybe their first 3 months. Okay. So you find somebody who's coachable and teachable, willing to work, and they're tough. When they're in their infancy, like, hey, you got to be like their parent to them. Okay. And you know, you got to jump in there and make the dials with them and help them work through all the little itty bitty, thorns in this business, all the little itty bitty, the pending and the chargebacks and like all the things that they got to learn, okay, in their infancy. But it's not for forever, okay? Like you don't have to be there on every phone call. You don't have to listen to every call recording for a year and a half with brand new people, okay? But when they're new, when they're in their infancy, like, hey, I would listen to those things. I would help these people. This is somebody, again, and this isn't everybody that you sign up. Okay. It might be 1 out of 10. It might be 2 out of 10, something like that. All right. That actually meet the qualifications of like, hey, I'm going to dig in and I'm going to help this person, go out there and win at this business. And again, I think that I do a lot of that individually. I also do a lot of that. I'm doing that while I'm also plugging them into the bigger team. I'm introducing them to people that are like them. All right. Because I know in isolation, agents are going to die. If they're by themselves, if they're getting discouraged by themselves in their office, at home, it's lonely. It can be discouraging, especially when you're new. Okay. And that's why if you can't be there with them, like in person, like you got to be there. You still got to be there for them. Okay. Like Mark Hutchison, when I first got started, he never came to Colorado to go run appointments with me. Okay. He never sat there while I dialed and listened to me dial, but he answered every single phone call. Okay. He got me plugged into the bigger system. He got me plugged into, what is available. And I got to meet people like Steven and Jeremico and Adam and like all the other leaders. And hey, there were certain situations where, maybe I would reach out to Jeremico rather than reach out to Mark Hutchison. So, getting your people plugged in and being there for them, I quite frankly, for the right people, that is how you start building leaders in this business. So, above and beyond that, you guys, working remote, working virtual, I think it's incredible. I think it's, I speak for me and a lot of people that I talk to and a lot of people that we recruit. There's a lot of people out there that when we recruit them and we tell them like, hey, you can work from home like that, they are all about that. But you got to be honest with these folks. Like, hey, you got to be, if you're going to be your own boss, like you got to hold yourself accountable. Okay. You got to hold yourself accountable. You got to plug into the system. And, at the very beginning for new agents, their belief level is down here and their excitement is up here. Okay. As you get older and older in the business, a lot of times what can happen is, your belief level, like, hey, that this works, but your excitement level's down here. Okay. The extraordinary to you becomes ordinary. Okay. Oh yeah, I made 10 grand last week. Whoop-de-doo. Okay. Whereas like when you're brand new, you make 10 grand in a week, like you're doing jumping jacks. Okay. You're doing cartwheels in your, so don't let the extraordinary become ordinary. Okay. But my point is you're brand new person, their belief is down here, but their excitement's up here. So while their excitement is up here, we got to get them around the people that the belief is up here. We got to build that belief. And the only way to do that is by plugging them in to the system, helping pull them along in this business, plugging them into the system, get them around the people that are winning. Okay. Like, we've right now in our group, we've got a handful of young. And when I say young, I'm saying like early 20s. Okay. We got some early 20s dudes on the team. These guys are awesome, but they are kicking butt. All right. And here's one of the best things that ever happened for these guys is we did an event and we got everybody together. Okay. In person, we did an event and they all met each other and maybe they'd kind of seen each other on Telegram or Discord or, whatever, the leaderboards or something, but we got them together and they became friends. Okay. So again, this is why the events are so important. They became friends. And now all three of them, like they kind of compete with each other. They're kind of learning from each other. If they can't get a hold of me or Mike or Dan or Rachel or whoever, Dave Fleming, they reach out to each other. Okay. Hey, is mutual mom's app down? Like just like the little things, and they're competing and they're learning from each other and they're kind of coming up in the business together. And I promise, and it's extremely valuable and they're kicking butt. You guys, see some of their names on the leaderboards. Okay. That alone was worth whatever they paid for the event, whatever, the flight was, the hotel was, whatever, because they're making friends in the business. They're competing with each other. They're learning together. And now you've kind of got this new class of young dudes, okay, in 2026 that are getting started, you know, within our business, and they're learning together and they're growing together. So the events are extremely important. So we do have an event coming up. Steven's going to be there. Okay. So it is, and I think we'll get it up on the site and all that kind of stuff, but it's going to be September 12th. And it's in Tampa. Okay. And we're teaming up with Brandon Manley's group. And truth be told, you guys, this is going to be it's going to be talking about selling virtually. That's what it is. And it's in Tampa. All right. So it's September 12th. You know, Steven will get it up, but Steven's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Mike Guerra's going to be there. And get your people there, get them around the culture, get them around the people. Like Mike Hilla on Brandon's team, you know, is absolutely crushing it. All right. And again, like this is why we're teaming up with Brandon's group. All right. It's because like we want to get our people around the people that are kicking butt. And after a while, sometimes as an agency manager, as a leader in this business, you know, you might try to teach your people something, and they might not listen to you the same way that they might listen to me, or the same way they might listen to Steven or Brandon Manley, or, you know, anybody, you know, Mike Hilla or whatever. So that's why we're doing this event, is like we want to get our people around other people that are kicking butt, selling remotely, doing it from home, and you know, yes, build the belief, yes, build the skill, but also help them make friends in the business and build community in this business. Because remember, like you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. Okay, so you got to get around it. So that's in Tampa, NBC. Chandler already talked about it. It is October 16th through the 18th. That's in Burlington. Get there. Okay, get there and get your people there. All right, like I can't tell you how many times in this business I've had somebody reach out for help. I'm busy, I'm doing a meeting or whatever. And then, you know, I reach back out to them when I wrap up the meeting, and they're like, oh, I got the answer from so-and-so. And so-and-so is somebody that they met at an event, All right. And so it's extremely, extremely important. And just remember this, you know, people get into this business to make money. I got into this business to make money. And selling remotely, like, hey, sky's the limit. All right, no one's gonna, you know, show up to your office and tell you like, hey, we need you to make less phone calls. We need you to put in less premium. That will never, ever, ever happen. Okay, but people get into this business to make money, and the reason that we're saying like, hey, plug in. All right, plug in. Don't be isolated. Don't try to do this business by yourself. Don't be a lone wolf in this business. Is because we know that isolation kills agents. Okay, being by yourself, that kills agents. All right. So if you want to make money, and if you want your people to make money, you got to plug in. All right. Because if they don't plug in, they're going to be dead in 6 weeks, not, you know, physically dead, but in this business, their business will be dead. Okay. People get in this business to make money. And for the people that are, you know, really getting after it, the people that really want to go make this thing happen, we are doing them a huge, massive disservice if we're not pushing them to come to the events, be on the dial call, you know, the dial jams, or however it's like, to come to the events, be on the dial jams, come be around it. Okay, posting their results, posting their questions, you know, getting advice from the people that they want to get advice from. You know, in this business, we're doing them a huge disservice, because eventually they're going to get discouraged if they're completely by themselves. So we've got to, you know, at the end of the day, wealth is a team sport. This business is a team sport. You're in business for yourself, but just, you're not in business by yourself. So that's what I got here, Chandler. If there's some questions here, I don't know where to look at the chat. If there's questions or anything,
you're all good. No, and honestly, that was all that concept was perfect. You know, and I'm looking at the chat right now on YouTube, and I'm just seeing a lot of people who are just agreeing with the points you're making, and finding ways to add in ways that they can adjust. And our Discord server is going on right now too, so there's people in the Discord server chatting about it. But I mean, that's exactly what we wanted. I mean, you know, the idea is just, you know, just seeing how we can help each other, right? I mean, the remote aspect, like you mentioned, it has amazing benefits. We all love it. However, you also have these disadvantages. So how can we help combat that? So, you know, seeing how we can utilize each other, seeing the ways that you guys utilize, you know, within your own organization, and how we can implement that. I mean, that was exactly what I was, you know, I sent the content over, that like exactly what you went over. That was exactly what I was trying to get at. Because I know you guys have an amazing community, you know, at Legacy Life. And I know you guys have such an awesome culture. So I was just, you know, want to see how we can utilize and how we can implement that to here and continue to utilize it. just as things get bigger and bigger, we got to find ways to still continue that support. So, no, honestly, Nick, that was amazing. Thank you so much for hopping on today. I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man doing a billion different things. And like you mentioned, you have a whole team that you're managing. So I really appreciate your time. And yeah, no, I really, really appreciate it. Hope you and the family are doing well as well. Appreciate you taking time away from them.
You bet, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on the call, and let's keep kicking butt, y'all.
I love it. Man. Thank you. Alrighty, everyone. So hope you guys all really enjoyed that content. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I know it's Monday, so we're getting the week started off right. And if this call didn't light a fire underneath your butt, I don't know what will. So let's utilize this call. I'm going to trim it all up and get it posted on YouTube so you can rewatch it and continue to do that, and so that we can get this week started off right and get this week with some amazing wins. So, all right, love you guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later.